ask you, you really think if guns get taken away, people are just going to start stabbing each other, like legit? You think they're going to resort to some other sort of violence in some other way?
No,
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Stabbing people.
I wouldn't say necessarily blowing. Like, if you take away like weapons as like firearms or anything like that, they will resort to something like knives, for example, because that's the kind of shit that I see and we hear about on a regular basis over here in the UK, right? But it's much more controlled in a sense, if you know what I mean, because one person will get stabbed rather than a multiple cases that happens, right? Where, like the gun, for example. So in a way, like, of course people are going to use any fucking thing. Like, you might even have more people trying to run each other over, for all you know. You know what I mean? They can even use a fucking car for this sense. But guns are something where it's like, literally, that's a stab wound, right? The rate of it being fatally is very low compared to a gunshot. Gunshot can easily kill you straight away. If you look at that kind of statistics, and also you can put tougher measures for the knife, right? Like over here, you cannot buy a knife unless you're an adult. You have to show your proof of ID before anyone in the shop serves it to you. Only then you're allowed to buy the knife. But again, if you take away the gun, right, look at how easy it was. It was easily acquired regardless, because the shops, some guys, they just bypass the whole entire friggin' ID thing and do all sorts of shit, and they can get hold of it. But it's very difficult for like certain criminals to get hold of it. Do you know what I mean? If they have history of any kind of
but
crimes.
That's where you're wrong too, because here's the thing. I can, now being down in Florida, man, I can go down to Miami. I can go to probably 2 or 3 different streets, probably even in Orlando, and I can go purchase a firearm with no serial numbers, everything scraped, everything smudged, and I don't got to go to a store.
So let me.
Store, they are obligated.
Well, let me interject there real quick, because guns, even if guns were illegal, people will still find a way to get guns.
Yep.
Right? Alcohol was illegal. People still found a way to drink alcohol. You feel me? So it's not the fact that it's impossible to find a firearm if they restrict it, right? It's the fact that it's
very difficult.
Well, it's the fact that it's not as easy for an idiot to buy one. You get me? Like, if you buy an illegal firearm, you gotta at least have a certain capacity and knowledge and guts to go to the streets, find a dealer. You get me? Like, there's a whole lot of effort behind it. It's not like I'm walking into a local pawn shop.
Yep.
Right, Wendy. Yeah. But look at the person that's going in to buy the gun, to go buy the knife, to go behind the wheel of a vehicle and kill somebody and use that as a weapon. You could beat somebody to death with a Bible. You could turn anything into a weapon. It's really the psychology of the person. What the fuck's happening with the people of this world, that they're taking something and taking the life of somebody else? You know what I'm saying? En masse. It's not just one-on-one anymore. Now it's, I got to shoot up a whole school. Now I got to shoot up a whole grocery store. It's really the psychology of people. Like, what the fuck's matter with people, and why do we glorify, these killers? They spend time and talk about them and put their name out there and just kind of make them into like these
they put them on a pedestal, so to speak, and then they want to one-up each other.
Yeah, like
now they have Wikipedia pages,
for the individual people.
Yeah.
So let me read a little bit about the Uvalde. Is that how you pronounce it? Uvalde? The Uvalde shooting at the school. And as of course from all of us here, we offer our deepest condolences and our thoughts and prayers are with the families. But I'm gonna just read you.
It must be very difficult for the families, just I can't.
Bro,
what kind of
I couldn't imagine
going through. I can't imagine.
Thinking about the fact that you drop your kid off at school where he's supposed to be safe and he's not coming back. Like, just that alone. Like, I would make sure they shut that school the fuck down. Like, that school was not going to be like open any longer, bro. The lawsuit that I'm about to hit them bitches with. But that
it's the police. The police, man.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that go into it. Like, I actually have like a full-on report of like all the investigations so far that they've done. So I'm gonna read to you guys a couple things here before the incident happened, right? But this is before shit escalated. These are things that people noticed, documented, etc., but nobody acted on, right? September of last year, that kid asked his sister to help buy him a gun. She refused. Okay, whatever, right? In February, he was in a group chat on Instagram, and there was basically the talk that somebody called him a school shooter in the terms, right? Like, somebody basically said, like, yo, he'd be a school shooter if anybody else was, sort of vibe, right? But little conversations like that, I guess, kids or whatever, they just took it as a joke, kept going.
Kids.
Then on March 1st, he had an Instagram chat with several others where he discussed buying a gun. Then 2 days later, there was a different group chat, and then someone mentioned, yo, word on the street is this guy's trying to buy a gun. Where the shooter then replied, I just bought something right now. Then on the 14th, 2 weeks later, he wrote on an Instagram post, 10 more days. Another user replied, are you going to shoot up the school or something? The shooter then replied, no, stop asking dumb questions. You'll see. Right? So let me just pause right there, because there's like two other things that people noticed before that. But if a child, and I'm just calling him a child, he's an 18-year-old, he's a grown man at this point, right? But just perspective to us, right? He's a kid. Mm-hmm. If a kid, somebody asks him online, are you going to shoot up the school? He says, no, stop asking dumb questions. You'll see.
You will see was an indicator for me as a red
like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a red flag right there. As soon as somebody says, you will see, which means there is something that he's planned ahead
involving a firearm.
But we don't. Yeah. So we just don't know what it is. But the fact is that this whole entire conversation was not even flagged in the first place. It just mind boggles me in the sense, like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Was this a direct message, or was it a group chat, or whatever? What is it?
So apparently this one was an actual Instagram public post. But depending on how popular that account is, only like 5 people might have seen that post. And it's just, a flaw of those 5 people to not bring it to somebody else's attention.
Right, yeah, but it's also probably other kids saying, oh, it's just another...
He's just overreacting. He would never do anything. We all know kids are brutal. Like, excuse the cursing I'm about to throw out there. Kids will be like, he's a pussy. He ain't gonna do shit. And they'll just dismiss it.
Do shit.
Yeah. Nah,
but
man.
Like it should.
Think of it is
unhinged, bro.
Yeah, but not even that though. You got to look at it at this point in time, like this perspective as well. It's in this day and age, kids what they call what we used to call was keyboard warrior, and you put them behind a keyboard, they're gonna say whatever's on their mind. But you put them right in person, they ain't gonna say shit. That's why that's where that mentality was that don't worry about them, they ain't gonna do shit. So that's what they honestly thought was just he was just being a keyboard warrior because he was getting picked on. So he was saying some shit, and they found out. You know what I mean? They found out he wasn't just talking shit. But in their mindset at that point in time, they just thought he was talking shit.
But it also feels like it was an instigation for him to say, like, yo, this motherfucker must be thinking I'm a fool or some shit like that. And you know what? Let me show them by proof exactly what I'm capable of doing. And that's what it looks like to me, that it was an instigation in a way, which he took it personally and decided to act on it. And I tell you what, bro, the fact is that, like, I just don't know, like, how the fucking mentality of some people work in any ways. The fact is, if I was going through my Instagram post and if I saw something like that, honestly, that would bring up straight red flags, and I will somehow kind of report it in a sense as they're like, yo, you need to keep an eye on this shit. You know what I mean? But I guess most of the people on the internet, will not.
Yeah, but think of it this way, though.
Stuff.
You gotta think of it this way as a 16, 17, 18, even 19-year-old kid. Put yourself back in those shoes when you were in those age. You had some other 18-year-old, some, let's say young adult at that point. Mm-hmm. They're on the keyboard typing that shit. You're not gonna go run to mom and dad and say, hey, look, this kid said this. You should be like, yeah, let the motherfucker come. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a series of questions regarding this, right? So let's just say when things like this happen, how many times during these kind of situations were the perpetrator, and this point, this 18-year-old kid, similar age range, right?
Okay.
Whoever's committed kind of like a shooting, violence, or anything like that, what is the kind of justice, like what is the kind of things that was put on him during the trial? So for example, how long was he served his sentence for? What was the backlash of it for him or the perpetrator was during when he got sentenced? So
you're talking about when they live in these situations?
Yeah. So if, like, for example, let's just say, for example, there was a guy who decided he wants to commit this kind of a thing. He gets caught, obviously gets shot, injured, whatever it is. Now he has to go through this whole court case, right? Now, what is his sentencing at this point? Because I'll tell you, I'll give you an example, but I just want to know what is the
go ahead.
Sentence or maximum sentence.
Well, the minimum sentence is probably, they look at it a couple different ways. So like premeditated murder, it's 25 to life. 5 to life. Yeah.
That's like minimum. But then again, it also depends on the state that you're in. Because Florida will go for the death penalty in a heartbeat.
Go for the death penalty. But then you also got to remember too is now they also have to look into not just premeditated.
Premeditated.
You also got to look into is if your lawyer tries to fight for
the insanity plea.
Insanity plea
for sure. Because it only takes a crazy person to do shit like that.
And that's where, I'm not saying this is just what I can think of off the top of my head, but I've seen a lot of like just school shootings or shootings in general that they've ended in insanity pleas. Mm-hmm. That they go spend the rest of their life in an asylum, or they go in an asylum for 10 years, and after you're done out of those asylums for 10 years, man, you're more broken than before you went in there anyways, because they have you hopped up on meds, they have you up on all this other shit, and you're seeing freaking actual nut jobs, like somebody that sees freaking four other people besides himself, and he controls all four of them. You know what I mean? Like actual nut jobs. So it's hard to say that they're just going to take a school shooter or whatever, and place him in prison if they don't go for the insanity plea. But that also depends what state you're in too.
So like, what I want to know is when they do plea an insanity charge or whatever, insanity thing, right? And they hide behind that. Now, do you think people are actually worried about those kind of sentences, or do you think that they're scared of that kind of repercussions that they're going to have on them? Because most of the time when they have like people like this with this kind of mindset, they don't give two fucks, right?
Yeah, I don't think they care at all. I think they just act impulsively.
Yeah, they don't give two shits. And when we see over here, right, like an 18-year-old, if it was an 18-year-old over here, or let's just say under the age of 18, right? Let's just say he got in there and stabbed somebody to death or whatever it is. And because he's under the age, his name will not be shown in the public because for security reasons or whatever it is. But he will go through juvenile detention center and he will serve his sentences over there and everything. And then afterwards, he's only given like maybe 12 years, between 12 to 15 years, whatever it is, depending on how severe the case is, right? From what I've seen from most of the teenagers in this mindset is they're like, oh, you know what, it's just 8 years, I don't give a fuck, I'd rather deal with this kind of shit, you know what I mean, of 12 years, whatever it is. So I think the main thing is the system, right, that's actually failing in many ways, because you got lawyers going ahead beyond their back to just try and give them the less sentence as possible, whatever it is. So I think that's the main reason for me, is just like, yo, some of these mindsets that they're going with, it has to be fixed in some kind of a way. It has to be fixed in this.
Let me add to that, Joker, because I think what really it's not really the system that's failing these kids. I think it's the parents, man. I think it starts
or lack thereof.
Lack thereof.
Don't get me wrong. I completely agree to that point. Now, when it comes to a legal standpoint, when you got a lawyer defending you, let's just say you did something. When lawyer's defending you, right? He's trying to give you, a plea deal or whatever it is in return for less time in jail or whatever it is. And most of the people see this as a getaway, because there are some people out there who will have the shittest life. Yeah, the shittest life. Going to prison is somewhat a luxury for these kind of people.
Like an upgrade.
Because they have nothing. Yeah, they have nothing to do with it. Like, their life is shit over here in this country, or the way they're living. So going to a prison is a kind of a getaway moment for them. And I think that's where it is failing, because they're not actually seeing the other things.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that though. That makes sense, because I knew a couple people. They've even said before, like, "Yo, man, it's wintertime. I'm going to jail." What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude.
Exactly.
Well, three hot meals in a cot. 3 hot meals in a cot. I mean, that's some of these people. That's all they have. Like, it's better than living underneath the bridge. You know what I mean?
So I kind of want to interject here and just tell you another part about this kid at the Uvalde, right? So now I think we're in a agreement throughout that there was something unstable, right? Something wasn't 100% right. I think we're pretty unanimous as to that decision there. But now, what if I told you that it's been confirmed that he met this girl in Germany that he was texting, that he grew fond of, that he told her that he loved her and everything the same morning of everything that was going on? Like, imagine they have text messages confirmed here where he complained about his grandmother being on the phone with AT&T about his phone. Like, I guess she was trying to cut off his phone or something like that, right? And then he texting her that that his grandma was being annoying. And then just a few minutes later, literally 6 minutes later, he texted saying, "I just shot my grandma in her head." Followed by another text message a few seconds later, "I'm gonna go shoot up an elementary school right now."
That's fucking hell.
It sounds like a spoiled little brat, bro. It sounds like you wanted to go to Germany to go be with this girl, and the grandma's like, "Nah, man, get the fuck out of here." There's probably a bomb at her house, and he's like, "Fuck this," and he killed her. And then,
dude, I'll be real with you. If grandma was talking to AT&T about his phone, and he's talking to a girl in Germany, homeboy might have just made some long distance calls.
That's
and now
charges right there.
But that could be another stressor right there. Like, he probably already feels like his life ain't going right, and now his grandma is about to cut off the only person he maybe feels that he can relate to, because all she cares about is probably that bill. You get me? I'm not saying the grandma's necessarily in the wrong, but there is a cause and effect to everything, right?
Yes, it's a chain reaction by the looks of it, because obviously this girl that he was talking to lives in Germany. International car charges rank, they
but they're a bitch.
Quite a bill. You know what I mean? And especially if you don't have any kind of a plan put in place, they can fucking go. Like, for a fucking hour, you might end up getting a bill for like $200-$300. You know,
hey, man, I've had my nephew call China by accident. Low key.
And
that's the thing.
Imagine this.
That's the thing, bro.
Imagine if you're an elderly couple at this point, right? Or an elderly person who's living on pension, who doesn't have any kind of source income or anything like that. Right? Any kind of a source income or anything like that. So this bill is like, yo, I have to look after my grandson, but at the same time, I got to look after myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a stress factor for a grandma itself. And so
can we just talk about the grandma? Well, yeah, because and I'll piggyback off of what you just said. I don't think cutting off that cell phone is the wrong choice. As a parent, if my child is talking overseas to somebody and racking up them bills, for one, hey man, I'm the one paying for the shit, first of all. Second of all, it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if whoever you're talking to across the world is being a good influence on you. That's not something that probably a grandma could easily monitor. It's not like us where we're pretty okay with technology, right? Like we might be able to monitor, but my mother damn sure couldn't monitor my child. She'll be like, how the fuck do you use this phone? You get me?
Yeah.
So
he's 18. He's a grown-ass man. Go get a fucking job.
No. I understand that.
Here's the thing, though: is how do we know? How do we know also is who this person he was talking to in Germany actually wasn't like, when they talked on the phone, like voice.
What she was feeding to him.
What she was feeding to him. Go buy a gun. Just shoot your grandma. We do that over here in Germany. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
I mean,
spoiled.
No, the thing is, like, I can see this kid's life was not going the right direction, and then they decided, like, all this thing, a stress factor coming from getting his phone cut off and everything like that. Like,
but let's take out the phone.
He might be.
Let's take out the phone. Why was he living with his grandmother?
Because some shit. And so it's been confirmed that he was living with his mom prior to, and then him and his mom got into an altercation is what it's been called, right? Not much details have been released from there, but basically stating to the point that a shit ton of cops got called, and it was to the point that, hey, he's got to go live with his grandmother because living with his mom is not working out. So shit was already dicey at that point, right?
Okay, so then where's his dad? That's same scenario. The girl dunking her freaking Oreos in water because her dad never brought back the milk situation. But that's
an expression, bro. I've never heard that shit. What the fuck? Yo, my God, that must be a Canadian thing. What the hell?
Let me.
But the thing of it is though, like, but where's his parents? Because the caveman said is, like, he blames the parents. But now I'm starting to think, maybe it might be a lack of intimacy, because
he shot his grandmother first, so clearly it's an authority issue that's going on. Like from looking at it from the outside in, it looks like a kid that wants to have it his way but isn't getting it his way
because he wasn't hugged enough.
It's possible, bro. Like there's a lot of things that'll lead to that sort of environment. Go ahead, Kim.
Allow me to interject, because we're hitting on notes that maybe he love or attention as a kid, right? But how about this? There's this kid in 2018. There was this kid that his name is Cameron Herron. His parents got him a Ford Mustang for his 18th birthday. And him and his friend decided to get behind the wheel on this super busy interstate or road in Tampa on Bayshore Boulevard, which Jeej will learn now that he's out here in town, that it's a really busy intersection. So these motherfuckers decided to drag race on this road. And Cameron Herron hit a mother walking across the street with her baby and killed them both. Right? Wow. It happened in 2018. And the court case just wrapped up at the beginning of this year, and he received 24 years in prison for this. Right? But it seems like this kid had everything in his life. He had mom, dad at the court case. They loved this kid to death. Like, apparently he had a really good life.
He just made a wrong choice.
He just made a stupid decision.
See, that's also where I see our judicial system here in the States kind of flawed, because one, they gave that kid 24 years for killing a mom and a baby, right? Which is wrong. I'm not going to agree with that. That's wrong. But at the same time, you have an 18-year-old kid with his friend behind the wheel. They just got a brand new Mustang, which an 18-year-old kid, in my opinion,
They're probably gonna go fast.
Stupid.
they're gonna go fast. And as a parent,
They're gonna make stupid choices.
and I don't have any kids yet, right? But I wouldn't go buy my 18-year-old kid fucking a Mustang, knowing that I'm gonna go buy him a muscle car at 18 years old. All right.
Bruh,
If
I'm
he
telling
wants a
you,
muscle car, let him go
if
buy
I-
because then he's gonna appreciate it a little bit more. But here's
Bruh,
the
I'm
thing.
telling you, if
It was an accident.
if it was my kid and if he was 18, I'd be like, listen here, you go get a job and go get a car yourself. Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
hard work
Yeah.
and
I mean,
appreciate the amount you earn.
So
I'm not gonna buy it for you regardless of how rich.
yeah,
you are.
but I'm with Jeej though. I'm with Jeej because at the end of the day, a manslaughter case is not the same
As
as
a murder
a
case.
mass shooting. You get me? Like that might have been a kid that had it all and made a wrong choice. Maybe took his eyes off the road. Maybe like decided, like you get me? Yeah, like that. That's
At the end
something
of the day, I mean,
different.
that's something that he didn't have. It was nothing in his control. Yes, it was that he was drag racing down the interstate or this busy road, whatever.
But it wasn't
the same time,
premeditated.
It wasn't premeditated, and that was an accident. That kid, put it this way,
If he went out and purposely
that can happen to
try to
anyone.
look for people to run over, then we'd be having a very different conversation about
Mhm.
how his upbringing might have affected him psychologically. You get me?
It's not
See, that
that
was-
entitlement, man. Like,
Yeah,
but it's-
you're on Bayshore Boulevard. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's
like you're
not-
in some back road,
but
Like,
the
you gotta
difference
take
of that
some
is, though-
responsibility for yourself.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. And that's where it's classified in that's classified in as an accident.
I mean,
That was an accident that happened. It was, like I said, it's an 18-year-old kid. He's probably been driving for what? Maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
bro, I can tell you as an 18-year-old that went right into a sports car, right? Freaking caveman knew me at 19 with a $30,000 sports car. I was reckless. I was careless. I put a lot of people's lives in danger, including my own, because I thought I was Dominic Toretto, Fast and the Furious. Like, you get me? Like, we all know being young and stupid and decisions, right? So I understand that if a wrong choice injures somebody, that individual has to pay, right? And they are paying. How much they should pay, that's a whole other conversation we can have. But when somebody intentionally goes out with the purpose to harm somebody, it doesn't matter if it's with a car, it doesn't matter if it's with a gun. The difference there is the ease of how easy they can hurt somebody, right? Because they can literally just walk up with a bat and just start smacking the shit out of people. They're still the same level fucked up in the head, but it's just a different means to it. Unfortunately, we do have a system that allows individuals to buy guns at a very, very young age and at a very easy way. Because I have it here. He bought the weapons on the May 17th and May the 20th. And on the 18th, he bought 375 rounds of ammo. So it's not uncommon for an 18-year-old in the United States to just go and buy a weapon. It's not uncommon.
Texas is super easy.
I know, but it's not uncommon also for somebody that buys one weapon to want more. Oftentimes, if you own a weapon, you own more than one. Part of it is collecting, part of it is safety. Like, I'll tell you, I think I don't know how many people here own a gun, but if you own one, I promise you own more than one. Am I right, Deej? You get what I'm saying? But here's the thing. But here's the thing, right? Like if it's like a tattoo, you're not wrong. Because if I go to the shop and let's just say I want a shotgun for safety, right? 20 gauge for safety. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep that at my safe in the room. But then it's like, you know what? I might want a handgun for safety. That I might want to, keep in my garage, in a safe in there, right? Like, just because I go and buy weapons, even at a fast rate, if I buy 2 weapons in 1 week in the United States, that is not uncommon. Like, we're in a shopping spree environment of a society, and this is worldwide. Even Joker can agree on this side that typically if you buy one item, you're more than likely to buy a very similar item within a short time frame. You get me? Like, it's very possible that if you ate pizza on Monday before the week ends, a full 7-day week, you might eat pizza again because you're like, damn, I kind of miss that pizza. Like how are people supposed to raise red flags in that case? A kid bought a gun. Cool. He's one out of another 1,000 that bought a gun that same year.
My first question is, like, going off this whole conversation, like, one thing that I don't understand with your country as a whole, as states, right, the complete states, how the fuck have you all got different fucking laws in different states? Is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, that is a little weird. We have federal laws that are all of the United States, but then we have state laws that are a little bit different too.
I just don't like, if I commit something in one state and then I can go to a different state and get charged for a completely different thing, and I can fight it off over there for something that happened in New York, for example, right? That's what.
No, because the way that it works over here is where you committed the crime, that's where you get tried.
Yes.
You get me? So if I commit a crime in Florida, but then move up to New York, the cops will be like, hey, we're shipping you down to Florida. They're judging you over there, cabrón. That's the way that it works. That's why, like, you see some people that have done some fucked up things. Like, they might have committed a crime up north. I'll use Ted Bundy as an example. Committed some fucked up shit up north, came down to Florida, committed some fucked up shit down here over at a college campus, went back up north, and then they had a whole list of crimes, but then Florida was like, nah, send him to us. We got the death penalty. We're gonna handle this bitch. And they sent him to Florida and they killed that bitch for the crimes that he did. They executed him. Like, there are different states that handle things differently, which is, I don't disagree. It's a very weird thing.
It's very weird for, like, as an outside perspective, just for the fact is that each state, because you guys are not each country that makes up a whole as United States, right?
No.
But each state that has a different laws and rules and the way it goes. Because over here, it don't matter what the fuck you do in the whole of UK. If you did something, you're gonna get arrested regardless of where you are. You're gonna get tried regardless of where you are.
I mean,
right?
no, same thing over here. Same thing over here, but think of it like this. So it's very important to remember that, at least the way that it's structured, it is the United States of America. That's the country, right? Each individual state, that's like saying a province in Canada. That's like saying a country within the UK. Because at the end of the day, even though there are, like in the UK, for example, even though there are a blanket of laws that apply to everybody, France might treat something differently than Spain would. You get me? In a specific situation. And that's essentially the same way that we are over here. And when you actually think about size-wise also, the United States is way bigger than the UK is. And it's one of those things that one of our states is like the country of Germany. One of our states is bigger than the size of Spain. Like, we basically are, it's the American way to do the same thing, but name it something different. You could go into the metric system and shit like that, right? Like, it's the American way to do shit a little bit differently. So, but it at the end of the day, it works in a very similar structure. We have the blanket of rules, and then each state has their own individual rules, their own country, their own identity. And even though they all have to abide by the blanket, each one of them, like, yo, did you know that in Florida, it's illegal to sell a baby? Yes. That's a Florida unique only law. Yes. I don't know why that had to be written. I thought that was going to be assumed, but you get me? Like, there's specific laws that might be in Spain that don't apply in Portugal, for example.
The thing of it is,
and it's the same thing. There might be laws in Florida that don't apply in New York.
Well, the thing of it is that you got to remember we have that blanket. So the blanket is federal law. All right, is what the federal government stands for, and that's what the United States is. And then that blanket kind of goes like this, and that stems down to your hierarchy states, which are New York, California, Texas, and then I want to say it goes into Florida, Pennsylvania, blah, 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 blah. So it starts breaking these down. But every state all their laws are stemmed off federal law.
Yeah, they at least have to abide by the minimum requirement, but they can add their own personal ones.
Let's just say it's federal law says you can't buy 5 guns in a month. Let's just say, I don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up. Let's say it's 5 guns in a month. That's federal
Hypothetically.
law.
Okay.
Well, hypothetically, like one person cannot buy 5 guns. But in, let's say Alabama, you can't buy more than 2 guns a month.
Yeah, as long as they're not infringing on the previous law, they can make a law that's stricter.
Of federal law. They can't go stricter than federal law. So that's why, like, if you, let's say you broke a law in Florida, all right, but that law you broke federal law, you no longer have just state police and county sheriffs and that. Now you have FBI coming after you. Start getting on FBI.
Yeah, once federal law, you got the whole U.S. government coming.
Okay,
and
so
that's
like
where
like,
that.
my question again. So why do you guys, each state has a different law? Why?
Let me give you an example.
They add additional ones for the state, but go ahead.
For the state.
Hey, Ben.
Check this out. So think of it like tribes, right?
Mhm.
Each tribe has a different vibe, right? So my tribe may be a little bit more conservative. So we may not think that one thing is cool, but another tribe might think it's cool to do. You feel me? Like, for example, I have a marijuana charge here in Florida, right?
Okay.
I have to, any job that I get, I have to state it. Say, hey, I got caught with weed, my bad, right? But if I go to California, where marijuana is recreationally legal, they don't even care. I could be applying for a job and they're like any other crime state except weed, because our tribe thinks that smoking weed is cool, while the tribe of Florida doesn't, right? So that's
an interesting comparison.
Tribes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of like. I mean, I kind of get it in a sense, like, but shit. We still find it fucking bizarre that you guys have different laws. You know what I mean?
It is weird,
it is weird as shit for us. It's just like over here, like I had a caution for assault, right?
Okay.
Because when I was a stupid teenager at this point, you know, I was only 17 and got into a scuffle, and that shit was on my record. Right, literally, we have at that time it was called the criminal record, right? But now it's changed into DBS. The abbreviation changed, but it's regardless, it still is the same. So it doesn't matter what job I go to, especially if you're working in a healthcare, that is very important. So they will do a DBS background, like CRB check, and
makes sense. Just like a background check.
Regardless of what position, whatever I did, they always ran my criminal record before hiring me, right? And my caution always popped up. Now it is each company that, depends on how
they might do the background checks differently, etc.
Yeah, and then afterwards, like I have to sit down in front of again 3 or 4 people, and then afterwards give my, kind of story to them as to why that happened in the first place. Depending on each company, they will be like, yeah, sure, it seems like it was a genuine mistake, whatever it was, or anything like that. But anything else apart from that, like example, a robbery, murder, stabbing, gang-related violence, all these convictions or anything like that, as soon as they see that, you're barred from working in this sector. You might be able to go and work in McDonald's.
So,
you know what I mean?
See that?
So let me flip it.
Same thing here. That's the same thing here.
It is, but I was actually going to flip it, if I may, as far as the gun side goes. If you have been convicted of a crime, you legally cannot own a weapon, which I think we can all understand. If you cannot abide by normal rules, yeah, you probably shouldn't own a deadly firearm, right? I think that's an understandable blanket. But now, and a lot of people were debating on it and everything, but let's say, for example, we brought up Joker, like, hey, there might be a job field, like in the medical field. If you have proven to be aggressive in the past, they just won't hire you, right? But what if you have a clean record? What if, as far as the background check is concerned, we don't have to worry? He's good. And then you get the job, and then some shit goes down. Who's to blame?
That's when it all depends on how other people are aware of certain shit of each individual, I guess, in this point. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, if you're at work and you show certain signs of stupidity or some kind of a sign.
That's what I'm saying. But at that point, you are at work. That's the same equivalent. Like at that point, you already got the gun. You're showing signs of stupidity after they gave you the gun. You get me? Like, who is to blame? You know what I personally think? And it might be controversial as shit. I think before you can own any deadly weapon legally, you need to pass a mandatory psychiatric evaluation.
That's exactly it. That's what I was saying.
No, not just psychiatric. Well, I'm gonna give you one better. Before anyone is able to buy a weapon, they need to go through a mandatory 6 to 10 hour firearm course.
Not only that, but I think there has to be.
I mean, yes.
Before you can own,
yes.
Before, I agree.
You have
with
to be
that
able to
statement.
prove that card. That card
But
saying
what
I
I'm
have been
saying-
trained for firearms. Da 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 da. I am in
Like-
firearm safety and everything else.
Like
No,
what I would
it's
say.
just a crazy motherfucker that's trained how to shoot a gun. That's all it is.
No, not trained.
no,
it's
I'm just
trained how to. It's trained how to be the safety aspects of that weapon.
Well, as an extra layer, I'm okay with
An
that.
extra layer. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm not
what
against it.
What I'm saying is, before anybody can own a deadly firearm for a gun, for example, I think they should have at least 3 steps. Or, you know, I'm just saying, going by the number, I'm just going with a random number, like at least 3 steps, and it has to be a very mandatory kind of tests or whatever, like, you know, these kind of tough things. Only when they pass it all, then you're able to do it.
Oh, so
And
you're
then,
talking
at
about
the
a New York
same
State permit, pistol permit.
Well, because here's the thing.
no.
We already have mandatory background checks currently. Like, you have to pass the background check, right? Not convicted of a crime or anything, yada, yada. You have to, first of all. Second of all, we already have it that if it is a weapon that can easily be concealed, you have to wait certain amount of days after the purchase to even get it to prevent any impulse decisions. That's the first thing there, right? Every weapon that you buy has to legally be registered under your name, the rifling, everything. So God forbid if you commit a crime with that weapon, they know exactly who to come back to, right? Like there are.
It's not even. Oh,
like-
let me tell you this. It's not even just the firearm. It's the stock. It's the receiver. It's the trigger. It's the
Everything has a serial number to chase.
Everything has a serial number, and that everything on that serial number is based back to that one weapon, and that one weapon is traced back to you. So even if you decide to dismantle this firearm, right, and you throw a piece of it in, I don't know, let's say
Like a random river, yeah.
and you put one in the bay of the Gulf, you throw one on the coast,
They'll be able to find a piece back to you if need be.
and they'll find that.
But now,
thing. But it's what I was saying about the pistol permit. All right, and that's the other thing too is with concealed, you have to wait. But in like I know in New York State, I've tried to get it. It's you have to go through a training course. You have to go through a 6-hour training course just for a pistol permit, just get the permit.
Yeah, just to be allowed to get it.
And then you have to get 5 references, and they can't be family, friends, and they have to have some type of social guideline. Like they can be a teacher, they can be a police officer, border patrol agent, somebody. You know, they have to get 5 references saying, "Hey, this is a stable person." Da 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 da. And then even on top of that, you have to pay $300, $400, $500. Probably I think it's almost about $600 at the end of it just to be able to get your permit, just to be able to go buy a pistol. Now to even get this permit, after you get this permit, you can't just say they send it to you in the mail. That day, you just can't go to the gun shop down the road and say, "I want this pistol." No, they'll check the valid date, and that date on it, you actually have to wait a week after having the permit to even then go buy the firearm. And then even though you have this card that says, "Hey, I am legal to carry this pistol," you still technically can't carry it concealed, or depending on what state it is. But then you still have to wait a week or 3 days or 5 days to be able to pick that pistol back up, because it's still all these guidelines that they've already put in place.
Yeah, but you know what I think the issue is though? because I don't think you see people arguing the fact that the pistol guidelines aren't strict enough.
No.
Because you have to go through hoops in order to get a smaller firearm.
Hold on, Wendu. Well, then, when you get that permit, Jeej, is there a recertification? Do you have to go to recertified every so often?
Yes.
Okay.
You have the same thing with the driver's license.
How often?
It's
Same
every
thing with the driver's license.
I think it's like every 2 years, 2 to 3 years. You have to get it renewed. If you don't get it renewed on that date that it says you renewed, there's no grace period.
You have to start over.
Date, you have to start the whole process over again. So
I think they should do that every 6 months with a psych eval, because shit happens, man. You could have a good month getting the gun, and then 6 months later, your life turns to shit. And now I want to.
Now you're mentally unstable.
Steve.
Mhm.
But
Right,
see,
you know
now,
what I'm
but
saying?
here's the thing though. It's now that's where you have to be careful, because then now you're infringing on what they call the Second Amendment.
Well, hold on. So here's a technicality that I'll hop in, because I'm pro Second Amendment. Like I'm telling you, I was at the pawn shop and I was like, I kind of want to get that shotgun that's on the wall. I really like that model. But at the same time, like it hit me, I was like, it's incredibly easy to get anything that is not a pistol. I looked at the pistols. I was like, I could buy one of these pistols right now. But I know it's going to take me a lot longer. I could literally just buy the shotgun and that shit will be in my house by the end of the day. You get me?
Check this shit out though, Joker. Talking about dumbass laws. So here in Florida, right,
Mhm.
we have medical marijuana laws, right? So you can go if you're sick, if you have terminal cancer, you have diabetes, freaking arthritis, life
Life-altering diseases, yeah.
with the rest of your
Life-altering
life. Right.
changes, yeah.
So I got to go to the doctor, right? And I have to go through a medical evaluation and get a medical marijuana card to go get medicine I need legally, right? Because here in Florida, it's illegal to smoke recreationally. So I got to go through that process. And every 6 months, I have to prove that I need to smoke marijuana to make my life easier, with something that I already have for the rest of my life. So I don't know what 6 months later is going to fucking change. But for a gun, I can go every 2 years.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
See,
have
like
to
for
prove that I'm
these,
freaking mentally
this is-
okay.
this is like, again, now I'll bring back to what
Maybe it's just
Jeej and
outdated
Windu were
laws.
saying. Like, I'll just bring back to what Jeej and Windu were saying. Now, they're pro Second Amendment. Now, so why the shit doesn't apply for the same thing about what's happening with you, right? For all you know, it's the same thing in a similar context. Not saying that it's the same thing as owning a gun, right? But this is medical marijuana. Why is it that you have to go through every 6 months while they're only going to every?
I have the answer to that. I have a clear answer to that. The clear answer to that is, it is very difficult for an American to fight against, like, let's say like the medical marijuana, right? If they want to extend that for like 2 years, 3 years, etc., the people that they're going up against are literally just lawmakers. And it's just like a he said, she said, and they'll be on that debate for years. The problem is, for the Second Amendment, that shit is literally in our Constitution. Like, it was in the original laws that made the United States. So when people come up and they say, hey, we really should do this we should evaluate individuals every half a year and make them do a psych eval at least once every year. At that point, then people are going to start bringing up, like Jeej was saying, it's like, yo, my Second Amendment says I have the right to get this. Even if you don't find me fit for a weapon, it's my right to have a weapon. The moment that I lose that right, the moment I commit a crime or something, take that right away from me. But even if you think that I am unhinged, it's my right. And that's where that gray line starts going around. You get me?
Just listening to this is just making me sit there and go, well, that is fucked up in many ways.
But check this out.
It's
not.
it's a very convoluted statement. It's a very convoluted argument.
But here's the thing, though. It is, but it's not, because you have people in here that live in this country that abide their life by the Constitution. All right, that is their
Well, let's just say
right.
the
They are
majority of
God-fearing-
individuals.
They are God-fearing Americans. All right, and they do believe in their rights. And if you take their rights away, they'll show you what happens when you take their rights away. And that's just how they do it. And like I said in the last podcast, as every American citizen, you are entitled to defend your Constitution of the United States by foreign and domestic. And it doesn't just mean domestic is domestic, where you defend your Constitution from the government or from the people that try to alter your Constitution without your say.
And that's where it gets convoluted, because the original Constitution was made to prevent from the government being too tyrannical, to basically make it to where it's like, hey, if the government tries to take too much control, like for example, you remember how you were saying, Joker, like over there, you guys just don't have guns. Feel me? It's just not a thing. Over here, it's like if the government ever tries to get to that point, we have it written in the Constitution that we, the people, can actually stand up against the government ourselves. Because that's how the United States was formed, standing up against some tyrannical force.
Tyrannic government.
So, and then you get into history and everything, but it's just...
The United States was made off of that one basis of we the people of the United States. And that's where it's because of the Constitution. You gotta remember, the Constitution was made because of the tyrannic government of England.
But now, so here's the thing, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
It's not.
But that's why the United States was made free. Why they wanted to make sure that every one of their citizens didn't have to abide by these. You're in by 7. You can't own this. You have to pay this tax, this tax, this tax. Dude, you gotta remember, and I've been saying this for a while now. And it's just one of those things. Is we went to war. The United States of America, its people, went to war for 1% tax on tea.
I mean, here's my thing, and I want to go ahead and make it publicly known too.
They got it.
I am, because again, I am pro-gun, right? I am pro-gun, but
yeah,
I do think the laws are very skewed, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why it's harder to get a handgun, because you can conceal it a lot easier, right? Mm-hmm. But I promise you, it's a lot harder to deal damage with the handgun that's harder to aim, that might carry like 11 shots, as opposed to a rifle that's easier to aim, that can easily carry 30 on a mag.
15.
It depends on your magazine, bro.
But
Like-
Depends on your magazine, cabrón. We could say 8 with one in the chamber if you really want to, cabrón. Anyway.
Listening to it from an outside perspective, I just feel like that one line in your, using the Second Amendment, I just feel like that is overused by a lot of dickheads out there.
And that unfortunately, it's gonna keep getting overused.
I'm like, fuck me. Like, just from the outside perspective, they're like, yo, I wish I could hide behind shit like that, but obviously I can't. But in a way, I am glad that we don't have that kind of a fucking sentence written in our shit to ever see like, yo, I'm hiding behind this, because motherfuckers out here are crazy, bro. And if they ever get hold of that little wind of that line in anything like that we have,
well,
bro,
but it's
I'm
freedom.
telling
but that's my issue too. I'm like, for example, me being pro-gun, I should be able, if I want to buy a rifle, I should be able to do it. It doesn't mean it has to be an easy process. That's my issue with it. It is way too easy for me to walk into a pawn shop and end up with a rifle by the end of the day. Way too fucking easy, right? Like at best, a shot might be like, come back tomorrow, 24 hours later. At best, you get me? Like it's way too fucking easy.
I don't.
That needs to be harder, by all means.
But see,
I think also the fact is that I think they should. I mean, I don't know. Just listening to it is just giving me a headache about the whole Second Amendment shit, because, like, bro,
it's not just the Second Amendment. It's not just Second Amendment, Joker. You got to remember, there's also other amendments in there that we've had ratified. That over the years they have ratified amendments where they no longer exist, where they've added amendments. But
yeah, that's a good point.
The one thing that you got to remember is that I've also noticed in the last few years, especially now my niece she's going to become a freshman in high school. I have my other niece. She's still in like grade school, right? They don't teach students about the Constitution.
Right.
Here in America, you
And that's
don't.
not that,
But see, now I
it's
started thinking
it's
about
not only
that
in
back
just
when I was in
America.
school.
It's not like I said. I agree with you. Like I agree.
No.
I mean, I don't disagree with you in this fact that education is very limited for certain things because it happens over here too, right? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like the things that piss me off about a school over here is the fact, like I live in Nottingham, right? I live in Nottingham in England, right? Bro, they teach me history about all the shit that happens around the world. I get it, they're all history, but they did not teach me one single shit about Nottingham. And I've been living here for fucking 27 years, right? 27 years, right?
Bro.
Once have they told, apart from the fucking fictional story
That's just
about
a
Robin Hood.
screwed up education system. Because I'm with you. I know way too fucking much about Greek mythology. I don't know shit about Florida history, bro.
But it's
I'll tell you what.
that's also the government, and that's you said it's them not teaching where the education process is flawed. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they don't teach us about our own Constitution here in the United States because that's the government not allowing it in their guidelines, right? It's not in the governmental guidelines to teach about the Constitution, so people stop forgetting about what their constitutional rights are. But in the same sense is the education process. We don't have an education process about firearms. All right. I had a school where we
don't have education about defending yourself at all. Any of that is stuff you have to find third party.
Like, fine. Now,
The
hold on. We had it in school. We had a rifle range. All right. They took that back. They took that away back in the 80s. Like, but we still had it there. So in our school, we had firearms in our school. We had 22s and different types of rifles because we had rifle. Like it was a sport that they were doing.
Yeah, rifling has been a sport for a while.
But they in school in that class they did it in gym class. Like they did that rifling thing in a gym class. But in that gym they taught you gun safety. All right, and that's just a little bit of education that you have towards weapons. You know what I mean? Not how they're supposed to work, but the safety of them. You know, if you feel like you're unfit, you can't be here. If the teacher that was teaching that class noticed a student that wasn't any type of fitness, like mentally, they weren't allowed to participate in that gym class. All right. Now, like I said, I'm a pro gun. All right. I do believe.
Hold on. People could say
education.
Yeah, but people could say it's a bad idea to introduce everyone to the education of weapons. Like, you get me? Because
I'm a firm believer that you should have the education to a weapon at a young age to know how to treat a weapon. Because here's the thing: it is in your mindset, but if you learn how to treat a weapon, you know how dangerous that weapon can be. All right. This is coming from someone. I've had a weapon in my hand since I was a little tyke. I grew up in the country. All right.
Carry on speaking. I'm just gonna go use the restroom.
Yeah, you're good.
But
I could tell by your mullet, age. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, but
I'm joking. Go ahead. Continue.
But I've always been taught how to respect
Yeah.
firearm. All right. Now with me also it goes on the same lines of I understand, the Second Amendment, all this other good stuff, saying pro gun, but I do believe we do need some slight stricter rules. As Caveman suggested, a psych eval. Man,
it'd be something so simple to do.
It's something so simple
like
to do, but it's also, we also sit in our ERs now for 3 hours to get seen. All right. So where are you going to find the doctor or the psychiatrist to go through a list of 50,000 Americans that want to buy a gun that year? And there's only, let's say, 600 psychiatrists that they have to be able to do these lists. So now you're starting to get on a massive track, all right, to be able to buy a weapon. and then you're gonna have pissed off. You're gonna have pissed.
Yeah, but
Americans.
I'm still not against it, because it's one of the things. It'd be one thing if they were infringing your right to own one. Making it difficult, adding another step, is still no. It's not stopping you from getting it.
But it kind of is, because here's the thing: if you got to sit on a waiting list for 2 years to go buy a hunting rifle, there's a difference. Now,
but that's an exaggerated scenario too. Like we live in a day and age that you can get a psych eval online in 30 minutes, and it's a legal one.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but if you're talking about if you're talking about getting a psych eval for a firearm,
okay,
they're not going to accept an online psych eval.
Right.
Okay, I mean, I can see that. It has to be by like a licensed professional, etc.
Professional. But if, let's just say Tampa, let's just go with Tampa. It's a big city, right? How many guns do you think are purchased today just in Tampa?
Million.
Probably quite a bit.
All right.
Probably at least 1,000.
Now, okay, let's just say easy 1,000. Now, let's go say each one of them needed to have a psych eval before they bought that weapon.
Well,
So they would still get it, but it might take longer to get it.
But then that list starts going like this, though. But that list starts going like this, because you got to remember, a psychiatrist starts.
Yeah, but you got to remember,
Friday.
We live in a capitalist society, bro. Like, if they start making psych evals needed for guns, you know how many psychologist business are gonna pop around the corner? You're gonna see everywhere, just a new shop opening up with a sign.
Yeah.
Get your gun, it's a psych eval here for only $150 or something. Like the supply will provide the demand.
The initial obstacles are gonna rule out a lot of these man. If you're serious about I need a gun because I hunt to feed my family, or I'm serious
for protection, etc.
I want to protect my home, I'm gonna wait 2 years because I know I'm gonna get that shit and I'm gonna be good with the law. If I'm a crazy motherfucker that I'm gonna go shoot somebody because my grandma said I couldn't go see my girlfriend in Germany, then I gotta wait. I gotta go be seen by a psychiatrist that first is gonna say, hey, listen, before we even talk about you getting a gun, let's talk about you getting some help. You know, and then that's going to slow down the process of these motherfuckers easily acquiring guns to go out and shoot people. You know, I'm pro Second Amendment. I believe that we do need to protect ourselves, you know, not only from just people breaking into your home, but from this crazy government that at any time could come against us. I'm with that. This is how this country was founded to begin with. But I want to be able to feel safe that I can send my kid to school and I'll be able to see them at the end of the day.
Okay,
you know,
so
the way that this shit's working is not working, bro.
That's fine. Let's say I'm crazy. Knock on wood. No, I'm gonna knock right on wood right now. All right.
This motherfucker knocked on his head. He is crazy.
All right.
He said knock on wood.
I can't go a gun. If I can't go, just buy a gun.
Okay.
Tomorrow. I just said I wanted to go buy a gun tomorrow just because I want to go do this. I want to go do some bad things. All right. And they said, you don't got to go through all that psych eval. But I knew my neighbor. He's a God-fearing American. He has guns.
Okay.
What's stopping me from just going to break in his house, going to grab his weapons, grab all his bullets, all his ammo, his weapons, killing my neighbor because that's what I want to do to go on a thing. That's what I'm saying.
No, I get you, but time out. Because in that scenario of yours, there's one very big deterrent. Your neighbor with all the guns.
Oh no, I understand that.
Like, you feel me? Like, in that scenario, it's like, yo, I'm gonna go steal my neighbor's guns and his ammo and kill him. There's a good chance your ass is gonna get shot before that happens.
But what I'm saying is, there was even that kid that stole his dad's guns out of his gun cabinet, found his keys out of his gun cabinet, stole the guns.
And that's poor gun. That's poor gun safety. We all know that.
Again,
but that's an adult issue. Because my child should never have access. He should never be able to reach it. He should never be able to even get close to that weapon.
What I'm saying is to that fact of, it's not just a crazy person purchasing a weapon. It's if they need a weapon, if they want to do these bad things, they can go steal their grandfather's guns. They can go steal
no, for sure. They'll find a way. Like I said, they could literally grab a bat and go start swinging at people's heads if they really want to.
We go back to the parenting. Motherfucker, why are you thinking about go stealing somebody else's shit to go do something to somebody else? You know, it starts with the parenting, man, with the home. The American household is broken, man.
Oh, that's
Not just American, not just American. Even here in England, they're fucking. The parenting is just fucking appalling. Like some of the fucking kids that come out. Right, I was on my way back home today, and these two little kids, like rants. They were sitting in the bus, right? Because I was catching a bus because of the public transport today, especially in my city because of the football thing. Sitting here, and these two motherfuckers are sitting in a bus. Completely, they're like, just by looking at them, you know they're at 14, 15, whatever it is, and they're actually literally trying to impress the guys who rest of us who's sitting in the bus, right? And trying to start a fight, talking bullshit like they're the fucking big man out there in the streets. Like, yo, if you had to step up to me, I would literally slap you across your face and make you sit down. Don't ever fucking step up to me in that way. You know what I mean? But the fact is that it's just parenting, bro. It's just comes down to parenting in regards to that. I agree to what Caveman and Windu was saying regarding it's all about, if I had a gun, like let's just say I was in US, and if I had a gun, my child better not step a second near where I kept my fucking gun. I will make sure that nobody is able to find it apart from me or my wife. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I was about to say, that's a whole nother subject that we would be going into, and I don't want to veer too far into it, because I'll be honest with you, if a motherfucker can't take care of a dog, they shouldn't have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, there's plenty of people out there.
A whole lot to get a dog. You gotta have a fenced-in yard. You gotta have like a whole bunch of shit to get a dog. But I can go to Walmart and get a shotgun, no problem. I mean, it's all good. We're in America, right? But I mean, again, scared, man?
Side note,
shit, bro.
Just for technicalities, you can no longer go to Walmart and buy a firearm as of 2019. They pulled out of firearm sales in the United States after all the mass shootings started happening, because a third of all the firearms purchased in the United States were from Walmart. And they did not want any part to do in that. Shout out to Walmart, by the way. They said, hey, we will lose out on like 40% of our general income because we don't want to have a hand in what's going on, because they made it so easy. And that was a benefit to them. That was a point of that was a feature of the sale. It's like, yo, we can get you a rifle easy, America. But after everything started happening, they're like, hey, we're not going to have a part in this. We noticed that a lot of people are saying, hey, they got it from Walmart. We don't want that. Now, it's bad for business, and we don't want to be seen as the individuals that are the cause of it. So as of 2019, they have not sold a single weapon. That's why now, if you go to Walmart, I think at best you can find knives. They still sell ammunition. You can buy attachments. And I think at best, if they have anything, some Walmarts might still carry like a 22 or like a hunting rifle or something at best.
They still carry a shotgun.
Or like a shotgun. There you go.
The one we had back home, you can get a 12 gauge, but and you can get like a small hunting rifle, but you weren't able to purchase something that was not hunting related.
Yeah, like pistols or like an AR. You can't get that shit at Walmart anymore, bro.
Where people need to understand.
But I went to my local pawn shop yesterday. I promise you, I saw a minimum of 9 ARs, 2 shotguns, and at least 30 handguns behind the counter.
Damn.
See, but here's the difference. All right, now when you go to like a Walmart, this is where a lot of these, like, I don't want to call them not like, where I find the difference between a killing rifle and a hunting rifle. All right, what I call a killing rifle is your ARs, your stuff that you would not use going hunting.
At least not conventionally, because I know some crazy motherfuckers that will take an AR to go hunt.
All right, yeah, but it's stuff that you won't go take a 30-06 or a 308 and go sit in the woods. All right, to me that's a hunting rifle, or a shotgun to go squirrel hunting or turkey hunting or duck hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Those, to me, I can see where if shit, my stock just broke on my 308. I got a big hunting plan to go tomorrow. I gotta go get another gun. I can go spend $400 or $500 to go buy a new 308. All right, and get it tomorrow. That's great. That's great. All right, but I do see where if I wanted to go buy a brand new AR-15 or, you know, those weird ass AKs that you can buy at some of these places that aren't fully automatic, yeah, I need to wait 3 days to take that home. I need to pass my background check. You know, if I've bought in 2 firearms in less than a week, you know, there's a massive red flag or this and that. But it's different. That's what I consider difference on the gun laws itself, because there's hunting guns and then there's shooting guns where you just shoot. You see what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of people get those confused. So
no, I get what you're saying. Like somebody, you don't see somebody have a mass shooting with a 22. You get me?
No.
So I get where you're coming from, but I still wouldn't be opposed that even something smaller like a 22, because it's gonna be one of those things like, hey, if you make a rule, it has to abide by all or none, right?
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna come down to. Because like again, I'll be real with you. Let's say even if it's a 22, let's say I'm going squirrel hunting, right? Let's say even if it's just a 22, if I need to wait, if I need to have a psych eval, which you don't have to get the psych eval the moment you want to get the gun, right? If you know I'm going to be buying a gun here by around my birthday in June, I can go get a psych eval now, or make a meeting for next week. But I know I'm not buying it till June. You get me? Like, it doesn't have to be an impulse purchase. Like, there could still be like stricter standards and steps to take, even to get the smallest of weapons.
But you're saying in that month, all right? So you're gonna go get it now, your psych eval now, and in 2 months you're gonna go buy a weapon. All right. Let's say you pass your psych eval now.
Okay.
But in 2 months down the road, now you're fucking mentally insane. You still go buy your weapon. That's where they're gonna be like, there's no difference. So why do we need a psych eval? Because if you're allowing people,
that needs to be done every 6 months.
Well, so here's the thing.
But not even that.
But I got an answer for you. I got an answer. So here's the thing. I don't disagree with you that let's just say a psych eval every 6 months. Some shit could happen in between month number 3 where somebody flips the script, right? Like somebody can become mentally unstable and hold firearms. Like that's something that'll never be predicted, unfortunately, right? Because everybody has their limit. Some people get pushed past their limit. Everybody has their stressors in life. Some people commit suicide. Some people inflict pain upon others. It's all horrible, but that cannot be predicted. The difference is if you already are in that state of mind, you should not be allowed to buy one. Like it's different if you own a weapon and then you commit a crime a year and a half later because you became mentally unstable. That's different than you were already mentally unstable and we allowed you to buy one.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is with your psych eval, where you're saying every 6 months. So you get your psych eval and you're 3 months in. All right, the psych eval, your paper says that you're 6 months. In that 6 months, you can go buy a weapon, then you need another one. So after you get your psych eval 3 months in, you become mentally unstable and you still go buy a weapon because your psych eval says you're fine. But you're not.
Well, that's why you go to your doctor every year to get a physical, because they're going to check you out, make sure that, okay, last year you were fine, but now we found a nodular and now we need to check for cancer.
I mean, they could also put in a law or a rule.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Yeah, but to answer what you're saying, they could also put in a rule and be like, hey, you need a valid psych eval. But if you're going to purchase a brand new weapon, to maintain a gun, you just got to get a psych eval every 6 months. But if you're going to purchase a brand new weapon, got to be within the last 30 days. They could easily implement a rule like that.
Well, but what you're telling me is if I don't pass my psych eval, I have to give up all my weapons after 6 months?
Well, I'll be honest. That's a valid question, but I'll be honest with you. If somebody doesn't, they're going to fight it. They're going to fight it. And it's going to be impossible to pass. But if it's a valid point to bring up. If somebody does not pass a psych eval and they own weapons, any local law enforcement will actually bring up the question, should this individual own weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's a
They
concern,
might be a danger to themselves or others around them, their neighbors. There's kids that play in the neighborhood. Though law enforcement can legally detain individuals' guns with proper suspicion.
Yes.
Like they're still yours, but we're gonna hold them until we do an investigation and we find out that there's no
I will
problem.
become a very, very rich man. That's the only issue with that, because then you would start seeing lawsuits on not just the state, then you would start seeing lawsuits.
But I'll disagree with you, bro. Like you're not wrong. You could fight it, but if the government can prove that you are unfit, just the same thing as committing a crime. If they can prove that you are unfit to hold a firearm,
Hold on.
your constitutional right just got taken away, bro.
But what I'm saying is this. So you're saying every 6 months get a psych eval, right? That's what you're saying. Every 6 months. Okay. I become unhinged in 3 months after I've already cleared. I cleared my psych eval. There's my 6 month psych eval. I put it on my wall.
Okay.
All right. And 3 months in, I become unhinged. But I am still cleared with that paper stating that I am fine to purchase a weapon. They don't know I became unhinged. But I'm still able to go take my certificate, bring it to the gun shop.
But that's why. But that's why I said, like, for a new purchase of a weapon. No, but
do a new psych eval. But hold on.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, you're speculating on all these generalistics, bro.
Let me finish my sentence.
Go.
Hold on. It's you saying 6 months for a psych eval.
To maintain.
I'm unhinged to maintain. All right. To purchase a new weapon, now where I need to go get a whole new psych eval?
No, it has to be valid within, like what Windu is saying, it has to be valid within the last 30 days.
Like you just renewed it within 30 days. If not, you can just go get it updated, the date.
That's where you're missing my point. You're saying it's every 6 months to maintain it. So if I can go get a psych eval today, all right?
That's if you already own a weapon, 6 months to keep it.
I understand that. But you're saying a psych eval, then in 2 months, it's my birthday in June, I want to go buy a weapon for my birthday. I just want to go treat myself, go buy a weapon. Do I need to now take another psych eval because now I want to buy a new weapon?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Let's say like you, for example, owning several guns, right? If you know, let's say this, hypothetically, this were a law or a rule, and let's not call it a law. Let's call it a rule, right? Like a step. If you know that your certification months for that eval are February and August, right? If you already own weapons, and let's say we're right now in May, then you could easily just be like, hey, when August comes around, I'm going to buy another gun because that's when my certification renews. Within 30 days of it getting renewed, I can buy a new weapon, or I can just go pay and get a quick little checkup to validate that I have it, like I'm still good, and get a gun.
Windu, check this out.
It's not stopping you. It's not stopping.
No, I guess I'm not understanding.
From what I'm saying.
I guess I'm not trying to understand what you guys are trying to say, because here's the thing: if I've already had a psych eval,
well,
why not?
But here's what you need to understand. But here's what I'm saying. Here's why I'm saying it. You can become unhinged. That's unfortunately something nobody can predict, and unfortunately, it happens way too often, specifically in men. Right, like we all know, as far as mental health, it's probably one of the most untreated things that could happen nowadays, right? Like you can easily become unhinged. God forbid if something happens, it is a tragedy. It can happen. We're not excluding the fact that it can or cannot. It's just the fact that in order to eliminate those burst, rash decisions, for example, an 18-year-old buying weapons on his birthday and less than a week later doing a mass shooting, that could have easily been prevented if a professional would have seen him and said, hey, this kid's unstable, he shouldn't own a gun. You get me?
You're not going to cure.
Like we're not. Yeah, it's not for all gun owners.
No. I guess I'm just like scenario. I guess I'm.
Let me break it down from a third person perspective, as you guys were talking about so far. So what I'm understanding is, basically, you got your evaluation done, psych evaluation done. This is all hypothetically again for everybody that's listening. Right. So you went and got a gun. You already own a gun at this point. Come 3 months down the line, let's just say you decide it's your birthday and you want to buy a gun according to what you said, right? But the thing is, what Windu is trying to say at this point is, if you want to buy a new gun, your psych evaluation has to be valid within the last 30 days, right? And if you want to buy a new gun, why not wait until August time when you have to renew your psych evaluation?
And this is somebody that already has a weapon. Like at that point, it's like, hey, you know what? If I even as an American, if I buy a new gun every 6 months, I'm okay. I'm happy.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's not stopping you from buying it, but what he's trying to say is, just so if you want to buy a new gun within this 6 months period, and it's already the third month in this psych evaluation that you already have, he's just saying, if you want to buy a new gun, let's just say you bought it in January 1st when you got your psych evaluation done. Now it's in the middle of March. Okay, so you got what? April, May.
You know, in July you can buy another one.
Yeah, July, because you're gonna go do your psych evaluation. Now your psych evaluation is valid within the 30 days period, and you can go buy yourself a gun.
And if and here's the thing, if you're a normal American that's just gonna pass the psych evaluation, just wants to add another gun to the collection and everything, it's gonna be no problem. It's just literally one. For them, it'll just look like another dumb step in their eyes that they got to do. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna end up with their gun regardless. Right. The whole point is to prevent these individuals. It's tragically, as we're seeing lately, these kids that are, a teenager is more likely to be unhinged than an adult is. You get me?
Right.
More likely to be unhinged.
I was misunderstanding what you guys are trying to put out. That's what I was.
Yeah.
So
I completely understand. That's why I stepped in and I was there, like, let me show the perspective from both sides.
I wasn't understanding the multiple psych. Okay, so basically, it's all hypothetical.
Yeah, like I'll put it to you military wise.
Why don't we just put it to same thing as cigarettes and alcohol now? You can't purchase them unless you're 21.
Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but then here's the issue. People are gonna say, if I can fight for my country at 18 with a weapon, why can't I own a weapon at 18? So then, then they would have to adjust that rule.
But if I can fight for my country at 18, why can't I have a drink at the bar in my country?
Again, that would just be one of those things that you adjust the rule on one side, you would have to adjust it throughout for it to be fair.
That's what I mean.
That's for you guys. For me,
they can drink at 18.
Above 18 and above, you can smoke, you can drink. You know,
well, they
whatever.
just recently,
you can drive at the age of 17.
It was the last few years they just raised the age for cigarettes to 21 in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Like I said, people say, "Oh, I can't buy a gun. I can serve my country and shoot a gun at 18." You know, but it's the different same thing. You go overseas and you're stationed overseas in some of these countries that allow you to drink at 18. You're 18, you can drink even though you're in the service. All right, it's the same thing. So I honestly raise the age of 21, whatever. But I do want to touch on one thing though. I'm gonna do a really, really quick flip backwards because I just found something. From May 14th of this year, all right, and we're still in this month, there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, what they classify as mass shootings.
Damn.
And that started
in America?
Today. This is going part of today, May 29th. So just in May 29th, they've already reported 3 mass shootings today. One was in state was in Illinois, Oklahoma, and Michigan, Detroit, Taft, and Chicago. The one is Chicago.
Don't forget about the shooting in Tennessee on Saturday also. Like literally in
no, but hold on. What I'm saying is that was here. This is just today, and we're only at 5:30 in the afternoon today. All right. The one in Chicago, there was only 5. There was only 5 injuries, only. All right. The one in Oklahoma, there was 1 death and 7 injuries. The one in Detroit, there was only 3 injuries. That's just today. Yesterday, there was 2. There was one in Tallahassee, which was classified for 0 kills, 6 injuries. One in Colorado for 1 killed and 3 injuries.
So I'm gonna let you keep going, but look at this statistic. So a mass shooting is indicated. Yeah, I see it. A mass shooting is indicated and defined where an incident where at least 4 people were shot, excluding the shooter himself. So far, as of this year, there have been 221 classified mass shootings, according to the Gun Violence Archive.
What the fuck?
I posted the thing. I posted the thing in our chat, so you guys can see the chart. Like I said, was it on the 17th or no, the 15th when the whole Buffalo shooting went on? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember me saying before in that one episode that there were 6 mass shootings that day? There was, that seen that little headline on it. So these are the 6. There was 1 in California, 2 in North Carolina, 2 in Texas, and then the 1 in Buffalo. So let's just see. Just the count of people. There's 10, 11.
Can I just
12,
say
13,
too?
14 people died on that day from mass shootings.
I was gonna say, can I just say that in general? And I know people are probably gonna eat me alive for saying this. If a mass shooting ever happens in the United States, there should be, we could call it a period of mourning. Let's just say if it's even a week and a half, 2 weeks, where no new gun purchases can be made for those 2 weeks. We're just going to take time to mourn. We're not stopping everybody from buying the guns that they want, but mass shootings happen in sprees. People try to one up each other. Like unhinged individuals are like, hey, he did this, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna be more famous.
It's never gonna happen, bro. That ain't gonna happen.
Now
We're in a capitalistic society, and why are we gonna lose money? Gun purchases go up after mass shootings, not only just to one up one another, but to
protect themselves. Yeah.
You know, so there's no money in it, man.
No, the one in Texas, the one in Texas there, the one that we've been talking about there.
Uvalde. Yeah.
There was 22 that were reportedly killed and 17 injured. All right. But now, weird little thing that I'm noticing, and just the way that everything's how consistent way that everything was. Did you know that's the only shooting that was registered that day?
Yeah.
And there's days where, like I said, so that day and the 25th are the only. No, there was nothing even on the 22nd. So. But it's still weird how there's a lot of consistency where it seems like every day since the 14th there's been a shooting, but since that big one, it was the only one that day. You know what I mean? So like
that's what I think it's directly connected to social media and media in general, news and whatnot, bro. Because think of it like this: if all these unhinged assholes are just trying to one up each other, and then they see that happens, they're like, nah, I'm not gonna do anything today. Let me wait till tomorrow. Let me wait till the day after, because I want the limelight. I want the limelight. That's I'm not gonna be able to top that. Let me wait till next week. And that's the fucked up part about it. Like shit like that happens. Like,
no, but is that going to show though how corrupt social media actually is?
Well, dude, the fact that the news are documenting and publicizing all this information, it makes these unhinged individuals want their 15 minutes of fame. It really does.
Right.
If these incidents were not talked about, I promise you the rate of occurrence would be much lower.
Right. I'm telling you, first of all, just looking at these red dots in that freaking map, just looking at this website, right, and just looking at all of this, like, it's just mind-boggling that these are mass shootings, right?
Fucking
these
sad,
are mass shootings. But fucking crazy, right? All these little red dots that's on the.
Well, no, hold on. So do this on the page that you're looking at. That's just number of deaths, including guns. Click on where it says charts and maps. Scroll down to the one that says mass shootings 2022, because there is a very specific picture that only goes over those. I'm gonna put that up on the YouTube for everybody to see.
That's the one I'm actually looking at, and I'm just like, bro.
And we're not even halfway through the year. Worth mentioning. This is still May.
But guys, again, going back to America's being all about money, we're never gonna stop those mass shootings. Why? Because they drive up ratings. Everybody and their mom was watching the news then, bro.
Yeah, they still are.
I just got let me just make it clear, like, damn, right? I am sorry for the individuals who are hurt, and I also feel sorry for the families that are involved in this, suffering through, seeing their loved ones in pain, and even burying their child, or your brother or his sister or whoever it is after this incident. I just feel like really sad and upset just thinking about what they must be going through. So my prayers,
our thoughts and prayers to all of them. It's with you guys. So hopefully you can have the strength to fight through it, and just try not to go. I don't know. I just can't. I don't have words to even continue with it, because it's just like.
Let me ask one question though. Hold on. Let me ask one question. And this is just a very like vague question. I'm seeing some of these cities on here, right? And like you got Chicago, all right, and it shows the address of where these shootings were. All right, and I'm just wondering, like, so you get these mass shootings where it talked about the one with the school, where it was blown up on all social media and all the press releases, right? But then you don't hear about any of these where, let's say right here in Michigan and Strandwood, Michigan, on the 27th, there was 4 people killed, 1 injured. We didn't hear about that, right? That was not in any of our radar. But how come we're also not talking about the fact of maybe this is gang violence? Gang on gang violence. But see, that's what I mean. So we're pressed on these, sick individuals that are shooting up elementary schools. But we're also not worrying about our own violence, our own gang violence. Yeah, I mean, gang members, some of them are really kind of unhinged. You know what I mean? I've known a couple of them a day in my life. And they're not bad guys. That's what they grew up with. You know what I mean? They grew up on the block. And that's all they known. But what's saying that some of these aren't actual gang-related shootings? All right, we hear about gang-related shootings enough. You know what I mean? But why aren't those also pressed in the press to try to stop gang violence? You hear,
it's not what sells, bro.
It's not what sells. People
don't care about gang members killing each other. People care about like
innocence, kids, etc.
Use these words. They're called power words, and there are these specific words that when you say them, spark the thing in your brain. What is it called? Endorphins in your brain to go off. So when you see a school shooting, like when you see those words together, it does something in your brain, and it focuses on that. If you see gang members kill each other, you're like, good. I hope they all kill each other, and we don't have to deal with that issue anymore. It's those hot topics that the news and the media they're looking for.
I understand that, but isn't it still? But isn't when you still go on to that factor? But isn't that still gun violence?
It is,
right? But I mean, again, it's all about the numbers, man. They're trying to play the numbers, and a lot of those shootings are in impoverished areas, like in Chicago, bro. There's mass shootings in Chicago every day. Nope, but CNN doesn't talk about Fox.
But that's also where you pull up the good thing where it's in impoverished areas. So I'm gonna bring back up the one in New York. They said it was done in a impoverished area. So why did we hear about that one?
I'll be honest with you, because the word hate crime got attached to it.
So and that's bringing
a hot topic right now
because it's a hot topic. So that's why I'm trying to bring it to this point is us as Americans, we are not worried about gun violence. We're just worried about what sells.
Yeah, and that's why the laws never change, bro.
That's why
that's where the laws won't change, because we're not worried about it all as a collective. We're only worried about it as a few.
It's because, Geech, there's no cure. There's no money in the cure. There's only money in the issue. You know, guns are going to be sold, people are going to die, and the people are going to go to the news. They're going to drive up the ratings. So that's why we're never going to see any psych evaluations tied to guns. No, because they would have to put clinics all over everywhere in the United States, and those clinics would be used to mentor teens, to mentor the impoverished areas that need that mental health. They're going through money issues, inflation, and everything. People are going fucking nuts. And if you have the money to go see the shrink, you're going to go do that. You're going to get the help, and you're going to live a much healthier existence than somebody that's just trying to make it day by day, you know, and is trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Oh no, I'm hearing you.
Money in the cure at all.
I hear you, and
ever.
that's what I'm saying. Like, where does it? Like, we get this issue where, you know, they pull up these charts, whereas, you know, the gun violence archive, which to me, this is probably one of the best ones that I've seen. Like I said, that's just the first page that went back to May 14th. I never went back to the start of May, but it's just going to show me here is, if you get the people that cry out in the streets that they want to end gun violence and everything else, well, stop looking at the things that sell. Look at it as a whole. You know what I mean? And that's where people aren't understanding is some of these gun violences aren't done by AR-15s, aren't done by fully automatic weapons. I guarantee it. A couple of these done ones that's, I'm not trying to profile Chicago in any way. Beautiful city, you know, the windy city, gorgeous city. I've been there a bunch of times. But let's say that shooting that was there, that was probably done by a handgun.
Right.
But
All right.
regardless of what it is, it's just like at the end of the day, the main topic is gun violence and how this has come about. So yes, even though certain incidents were not come to public's view or whatever it is, the main thing was because there is one incident that always comes into public's perspective. At this point, the Uvalde shooting is a much talked about incident, and so it brings up a whole lot of questions. Again, like our podcast is one of those podcasts where we start digging into stuff, when we start looking into all of these things and we start talking about this particular things. Like now we have information about other shit that happens, not only just what happens in Uvalde, whatever it is, but this is like, for us, it's our responsibility in a way to make it aware to the general public out there that not only just from the mass shooting, but from other incidents too, so that it brings more awareness to the people. So unfortunately, media as a whole will not do it because they are fixated in one particular incident, right? Because they want to have their clicks on their web pages, you know, watch their videos, garner views, and, you know, most talked about article from their side. So hopefully it'll bring more awareness to a lot of people out there who are watching our videos to say like, look, it's not just what's happening with the mass shooting because of one certain deranged individual. Hopefully this also brings limelight to other incidents that's happening right now. So,
Well, if you want to go on
hopefully
Limelight
they can
right now. You want to go on Limelight right now? I just hit refresh on this archive, and 2 additional ones just popped up.
That is, I'm just gonna hit refresh. So
All right. So in California, there was 1 killed, 3 injured. But in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, there was just 5 killed and 1 injured. And that was just, like I said, when I pulled this up, not even 6 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, maybe, I just hit refresh and 2 more popped up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a gun violence crime here in the United States, apparently, every 10 minutes, let's just say.
And that's what I'm saying. So hopefully this will give more awareness to the people out there to, you know, gather their own kind of collective thought process and collect those information to themselves, and then hopefully they can see that this is an issue that they need to resolve, and hopefully as people as a whole, as a country, comes together to try and do something about it. That includes the politicians, the people, you know, all sorts of gun lobbies, everything that you guys going on over there. Hopefully that brings the limelight to this and say like, look, we need to do something about this because this is a fucked up situation right now. As you guys, you know, I don't want to be like in a stereotypical way, but when we hear about USA, you guys talk about, how we are the best country in the world. We are the land of the free, home of the brave. You beat about all of these things. No, I get. I mean, that's your perspective and that's your opinion, right? So what I'm saying is, like, when you as a, how do you call it? You're number one. You're the number one country when it comes to like influences from the West, right? When everyone's eyes are paying attention to these kind of things, it's not a good look as a country as a whole.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Look, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? Because
look,
this is a situation that's happening on the country that they say they're the best, and yet there are so many issues.
But see, I'm gonna tell you this though. But I'm gonna tell you this though is, yes, a lot of the places in the East, they hear about America's issues, but because we have a thing called the freedom of press, our people, like us right now, we're doing it right now because we are free to do it. It's our given right to put out information to public, to talk about this, to talk about that. But then you get into some other countries like China.
Well, let's just use Russia as an example with the whole Ukraine-Russia thing that's going on. Russian reporters aren't allowed to talk negatively about what's happening from their side.
So you won't really hear the truth of what's really going on. So you get people in your country where you're saying is you can hear all the time now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like our rights, like I think the whole world understands that Americans' or rights and their amendments are a double-edged sword. Like everything from freedom of speech to right to bear arms.
You guys,
it's a double-edged sword, all of them.
For democratic perspective, like democratic points of views around the democracy as a whole, right? You guys are the front runners of it as America, right? For democracy.
Okay.
Then other countries fall into place along with it who size democracy. So when you guys as a whole country show up that we are the democracy country and we are going to go all of this, yet there are so many issues that's underlying within that country is what is like you got to understand America. Everyone watches, everyone gets influenced by how America runs things, right?
I mean, that's understandable, but what I'm trying to teach you understand what this is that us as Americans, we have that ability where we don't hide our things because we are. I completely get it. What I'm trying to say to you guys is, hopefully, these issues that's coming up, and when the whole world is watching you guys can show something to the world that we are taking the right steps and the right measurements to put in place so that we can avoid these particular things from happening. And that's the kind of message you need to put across to the whole world. Otherwise, when you go and sit in in the UN meetings and shit like that shit comes back biting back at you, saying that, hey man, you can't even handle your own affairs in your house, but yet you're trying to freaking sit there. No, I'm just giving you a perspective. I'm just giving you a perspective. UN stuff. You said
I'm just giving you.
But when it goes into UN stuff, they don't talk about this.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
issues.
What I'm trying to say to you is, it's not about who's sitting in the office and watching all of this. This is the public's perspective on things. It's like when you guys sit there and say like, this country can't do this country can't do that, this that, or whatever it is. As a public over here, I'm telling you honestly, when we sit there and look at about certain shit, like if you're president of the United States says something, right, to us or whatever it is they're like, hold on a minute, you motherfuckers can't even handle your own shit in the house, yet you're coming over here and telling me and telling us on what we need to follow and what not we can't follow. Like, shit don't make no sense.
Because we don't.
Shit doesn't make sense.
Because right? the thing you're not getting on that one, Joker, is because us as Americans, we have the ability to get that information out where your people hear it. I don't hear shit that goes on in England.
Bro,
or
I'm telling you,
Nottingham
you
and all
go
that.
up, you go up right now, right? We have the similar kind of a thing, right? You go up right now and you pull up any of the news broadcasts that comes up regardless, right? We have a thing called BBC East Midlands. Then you have BBC as a whole, as a nation, right? And then you have other news channel broadcasters, you know, all these little things that comes up over there. You can pull up information
But I'm
right
saying
now, which
worldwide.
is even public too. Yeah, exactly. They're all worldwide. You can get access to it right now. The only difference is that you guys don't cover it. We cover everything that goes around in the world. Right? We cover everything that goes around in the world, not just what happens in United States, not just what happens in Australia, not just what happens in Japan, but it's up to you, you know, your media state.
Oh, that's our media.
Aware.
I'm not talking about our media. I'm not talking about our media.
That's what I'm saying.
Corrupt.
Shit.
Our media is corrupt. They do whatever they want.
Shit.
So I'm not talking about our media. I'm also just talking about our social standpoint, our social media. So like our TikToks, our Facebooks, our Twitters, our, you know, where it's the American people. There's a difference between someone says, "Oh, you Americans." No. Don't get that twisted. It's not you Americans. When you hear about our news that's going on over here, it's what they, and I use they like DJ Khaled. It's what they want you to know.
Khaled.
All right.
You know, I get it. It's the same thing over here too. There are some certain influencers over here will only show you what they want you to show, right? Again, it falls under this whole perspective again, as to say that, look, we get information from all across the world, right? Which gets shared to the public over here, right? Nothing is censored, nothing is done, everything is shown. When there comes to certain words and, you know, videos that has to be shown, they will censor it because of disturbing images, blah blah blah. But we don't hide any of our information either. It is available for you to even go check it out right now. Like I can just tell you, go on bbc.co.uk and you can just pull up 101 information about most of the shit that goes on is stabbing, right? You can see that right now.
Oh yeah,
right.
I watched
You know
BBC.
what I mean?
I watched BBC a couple times.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, there is some dickhead out there who decided to take a fucking knife, go and stab some guy who didn't do shit because he just felt like I wanted to be a bigger man, right? The kind of stupidity that goes on over here is they're like, you looked at me in a weird fucking way? Bro, I'm telling you, whack the fuck away. And then the whole conversation starts off because somebody has to prove that they're a bigger person than the other. And next minute, you know, fucking cops over there. I'll tell you, the information is right there for you. It's the same thing. Like we mourn over here for most of the fucking stabbings that happen, right? The same way as you guys mourn for the mass shooting that goes on or any kind of gun-related incidents that happens over there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, bro. I'm just going to say, like, it's just unfortunately
It's disturbing.
even in our country, there are certain rules and regulations has not been put in place to avoid certain things. But I'll tell you what, we are trying to make it more strict. We are trying to change it. And you can see it over the time period that we are making it more stricter and stricter and stricter at each incident that happens. You know what I mean? The more shit that we'll put forward. Like, for example, if this area is known for some kind of an incident, for example, burglary or stabbings or gang-related violences or whatever it is, bro, there will be cops patrolling left, right, and center on a regular basis to try and avoid this. We are I would say in the world, we are fucking CCTV crazy, right? We can track an individual when they step outside the house till they enter back into their house. So we can track all these kind of shit that's happening, and we will try and prevent it in a sense. Unfortunately, sometimes they're not able to act on it very quick, right? Unfortunately, shit happens like that. You know, there is what you call the amount of people that's able to respond to that incident quickly as possible or swiftly as possible. But the information is out there. There's not hidden over there, right? Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. And what I'm trying, again, I'll come back to the point. What I'm trying to say is, right, you see, when a country as big as you, right, as big as anyone in the world right now, economic wise, military wise, you guys are showing examples to many of the countries out there, right? You trying to, because you will be classed as number one of the food chain, right? And everyone's looking up to it, and then afterwards
Another one.
yeah, and exactly, and then you come and then afterwards you criticize other countries' behaviors for each particular things. I'm honestly telling you, general public's perspective on that does not look good, because it's like, yo, did I not just see the news about what shit happened over there? Yet you want to come and tell me what's going on about my country in a bad way? It's just like, yo, come on, man.
So let me give you another light on that.
Right there.
Yeah, but let me give you another light on that, Joker. Like, I'll tell you, us as Americans, we're fearful for the shit that's going on. Like, you know how scary it is to, like, for example, I had my coworkers literally right after the Uvalde shooting, the day after, I had my coworkers coming in and they were like, yo, I just dropped off my kids at their elementary school. There were like 8 cops at the school. Like, our children are literally like, hey, for the rest of the school year, no backpacks at all. Like, you get me? Like, even us over here, like, I know us as Americans, we are a little bit cocky, to say the least. Yes, yes, a little bit on the cocky side for sure. I think that's an American trait for sure.
Really doesn't. We don't, like, the average American. We don't want to impose any agenda on anybody else, bro.
We mind our business. Yeah.
Take care of our own. You know, we got our own problems. It's our fucking government, bro. They want to be like, hey, we're gonna impose our views on democracy. We have that imperialistic mentality. Our government does. You know, that's why we invaded Iraq. That's why we go and invade people. You know, we want to impose our government, and it's not perfect, man. We're never gonna be perfect, but we're better than most. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be here than in Sudan. You know,
I'd rather be here than Uvalde.
Yeah, a lot, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, so, I mean, just like Wendy said, you know, most of us here, man, we're kind of scared too. Like, we want the same things everybody else wants. You know, we want to be able to feed our kids, you know, and
want to go to a grocery store without worrying about some crackhead walking with a gun.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm
like, I was telling Caveman about this. Like, I'm like, yo, when the Buffalo incident happened at a grocery store, right? It was just a local grocery store in a small town. I was at work and my wife tells me, hey, I'm going to go to the local grocery market with the baby and get some stuff. And I just can't help it. And I'm like, yo, do you need to? Like, can you wait for me to come home? Like, can we just order it? Have them bitches deliver that shit to our house?
Like, no, like I even told my wife. She even said the same thing. I was like, bring your purse.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I'll honestly tell you,
bring your purse. You know what I mean?
I honestly tell you, right? When all this fucking, it's a similar kind of thought process where you guys are going through. Like, well, about the fucking stabbings and gang related shit that goes on over here in the UK, like, I honestly tell you, when my girlfriend turns around and says, yo, I'm finishing work at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm gonna catch a taxi and I'm gonna go home, right? The area that she's living in is known for bullshit like this, where there's gonna be stabbings or whatever bullshit it is. And then afterwards it just like hits me in the back of my head as they're like, yo, just let me know when you fucking reach home and when you're inside the house, because I don't know which motherfucker out there in the middle of the fucking night just decides to rob you and then afterwards just stab you twice, for all you know, because at that time she will be in a lot of pain. I don't know if she's going to even respond to my phone calls or messages or anything like that. If I know that I don't get any messages, my phone is already on and I'm calling her constantly. I'll even call her mom or her brothers, right, just to see if she's fine. Like, the amount of thoughts that go into my head, it's the same thing for my girlfriend too, or my mom at this time. When I was a teenager, my mom used to constantly call me up at 9 o'clock in the night, even though when I was chilling with my friends, is there like, are you all right?
Same.
Where are you at this point? Like, you know, just trying to be
Oh,
making sure that we know what it is.
But see, that's not even
But
what's
it's just
any of
that
these.
fear, man.
Like my wife could be going home from work, and I'll be still at work. Hey, let me know when you get home.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just
let me know.
it's not even that.
Right?
It's just the drive. She could be in a car accident. I'll never know till 4 or 5 hours after.
And sometimes, like my girlfriend has this big mouth sometimes, right? Like she will say as it is directly. Like she's just, I'm telling you honestly.
No, I feel you 100%. Like I love my wife with all my heart. She's definitely a Karen. I can't even front.
What was it? The other day we were just going from a corner shop, and we were walking back home, right? Which is just 2 minutes down the road. 2 minutes down the road, we went 2 minutes down the road. We went to the corner shop, and as we were coming out, there was an individual using his fucking e-scooter, right? Hooded up, like this motherfucker had his hood up, tightened it, like you can only see this part of the fucking face, right? Going at full speed, just about to clip me and my girlfriend. Didn't even say sorry. Then he looks at us there like, can't you see that I'm fucking going? I just looked at him as they like, I just looked at her and I looked at him. I was there like, stand there, wait until I get to you, right? But my girlfriend in this point has already turned around and said, fucking dickhead, keep worrying, keep walking, right? I'm just looking at, I'm like, you're just not making it easier. Like, you're not making it easier for me.
But here's the difference. Here's the difference. Does she do this when you're with her, or does she do this?
No,
also
she just
when you're
does
not
it.
with her? Okay,
She does it like she does this even when I'm not.
Yeah,
with
that's
her,
like
bro.
my wife.
Yeah, I was about to say Jessica definitely does the same thing too,
You know what I
bro.
mean?
Like she will fight. She'll try to start a fight with somebody in the middle of the road.
my wife will just fight a grown ass man just because they fucking mouthed off to her wrong. But trust me, my wife can knock out a grown ass man.
Like my girlfriend can too. That's the thing. The difference is my girlfriend has the capability to knock out somebody. But what I'm worried about is when I'm not with her, the retaliation that she's going to get in return, right? Because for all you know, only one motherfucker has to do to punch her, right? And that's it. I'm not at this particular moment, and that's what I am worried about. And I'm like, yeah, I keep telling my girlfriend is there like, listen, when you're out and about and you're not with me and I can't physically protect you in any way, or just make sure that you try and keep your mouth zipped as possible, because you don't know how an individual will react and how he will respond to that particular comment that you throw at him, right? Or whatever it is that you say.
That's why she needs to carry a 38 in her purse, bro.
No, I still refuse that. Because that 38, you don't know. Do you know what I mean? What will happen is what I'm worried about, the retaliation.
Oh,
so it's just like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But,
so
hey,
that
on another note, I do want to touch on tomorrow over here is Memorial Day.
Bless you.
I do want to touch out and just say thank you to everyone that has served this country that is watching.
Absolutely.
You know, our country wouldn't be made and we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now if it wasn't for a lot of our military soldiers. So I do want to say thank you and God bless.
Thank you from all of us for sure.
Sir.
And I want to say is this was a really great podcast today, guys. We did touch on a lot of great stuff. And hopefully we have many more of them.
And shout out to the people who actually sits there and listens to this whole podcast, bro. Like, I'm
for real.
Like, thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I just hope that the conversation and the topics that we talk about just kind of like informs you and kind of educates you in certain things, so that you know it will help you to make better choices in life.
And don't be afraid to comment and let us know.
Exactly.
You don't
exactly.
It
doesn't matter.
With us or
doesn't matter if it is a negative thing. Doesn't matter if it's a positive thing. Just don't troll, okay? Just don't
be a troll. Just
and
have an educated conversation with us in the comments. Yeah. Send us
and also
don't
troll.
You have to, but more of a lesson.
And also,
don't troll.
Don't troll other people too, and don't bring out any kind of a hate speech or any kind of other shit, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. So, just respect that, please.
As you can all see, we're all faces a different color here in podcast. There's that's a whole, and this wasn't intentional, man. We all get along just great.
Hey.
No, yeah. I mean, it's important for everyone to understand and realize you can disagree and still get along. You get me?
Yeah.
Like messages like that honestly just aren't shown enough. Like, it's almost like, hey, you have to be A or B. There is no in between for a lot of people, right? Especially when it comes to politics, your opinions on guns and stuff like that. Like you guys saw, like a lot of people don't realize most opinions meet somewhere towards the middle. It's very rare that you see somebody far left or far right. Very, very rare. Most people are kind of like in between. Like, you see me, I'm pro-gun. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, I understand if you make things a little bit harder so that an 18-year-old that's unstable can't get a gun. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to go through another hurdle, so be it. I will do the hurdle and I will legally get my gun. That's no problem. If I got to wait an extra month, I'll do it. That's no worries.
I'm far right on certain topics, but it's middle topics a lot of the way. But that's just where we're all able to, we all disagree and agree on some stuff. But hey, we get along onto the thing. But hey, don't forget to share this with your parents, your friends, your family.
Share it with everybody. It's a conversation that'll be healthy for all, for sure.
Yeah.
And also, much respect if you can actually comment and express your views and express your concerns so that we can actually get educated too. If you have any kind of facts to throw out there.
If we get enough comments, we could easily just make a video going over the comments and discussing thoughts that other people have brought up, for sure.
Absolutely.
But for now, guys, I do want to say peace.
Yep.
Love.
Much about that time. Much love, homies. We appreciate everybody.
Have fun.
Subscribe, comment, and like.
For sure. Peace.
Hit that like button.
Don't forget to wipe.
Peace.